In the world of comedy, there are legends who've mastered the art of turning the mundane into uproarious gold. Tonight, imagine what would happen if three of the greatest comedic minds, Larry David, Tina Fey, and Adam Sandler, found themselves in the same room, face to face, forced to collaborate on a project that could either launch them into comedy history or send them spiraling into chaos. The scene is set in an office, a seemingly ordinary space, with the three of them sitting around a table. The tension is palpable, but not in the usual way. No, this is different. This is a collision of styles, egos, and personalities. You see, Larry David is a perfectionist, obsessed with minutiae and the smallest social faux pas. Tina Fey is all about sharp wit and satire, her mind constantly churning with clever one-liners. And then there's Adam Sandler, hilarious, goofy, but always up for a bizarre challenge, with his unique blend of absurdity and heart. They've been hired to write a sketch for a big-name variety show, but there's a catch: they have to work together. And as you can already imagine, nothing about this is going to go smoothly. The clock is ticking. The sketch needs to be written by the end of the day, and while Tina's already got a dozen potential setups scribbled on a napkin, Larry is pacing around, muttering to himself about how it's all so unrealistic no one would ever just casually make that mistake. Meanwhile, Adam Sandler's sitting on the floor, trying to come up with funny voices to test out while wearing a giant fake mustache. "Why do you have that on?" Tina asks, a little annoyed but mostly confused. "Because it feels right," Adam says, grinning like a kid on Christmas morning. "You gotta commit to the bit, you know." Larry, overhearing this, throws up his hands in frustration. No mustaches. This is a sophisticated piece of comedy. We're not doing slapstick." Tina laughs. "You say that like slapstick is a dirty word. We've written slapstick into some of the greatest TV shows ever." But Larry, who doesn't see humor as a thing to be messed with, is having none of it. You can't just throw a stupid joke into the middle of a scene and hope it works. There needs to be meaning. Meaning? Adam asks. "The meaning is that it's funny. That's what comedy is about." No, Larry insists. Comedy is about the uncomfortable moments, the moments when you're stuck in a situation that could go wrong at any second. Well, then why not make it a situation where we're all stuck in a room and can't leave until we've written the sketch? Tina proposes, smirking. That way, we have the pressure, and Larry gets to work through all his little neuroses. Perfect. That's exactly the kind of thing that could work, Adam says, leaning back and knocking over a lamp. See? Now we're onto something. Larry looks horrified. Oh great. Now we're just sitting around, letting the situation do the work for us. How lazy can you get? Tina can't hold it in anymore. Larry, that's the whole point. You get stuck in an awkward situation, and the humor is how people deal with it. After a long pause, Larry crosses his arms and mutters, fine. So now we're stuck in this room. What's next? Adam, suddenly jumping up like he's had an epiphany, says, we need an absurd plot twist. Maybe. I don't know. We all get locked in here because of an insane fire drill, but then it turns out we're just trapped because of Larry's obsessive need to check every exit. No. Too much. Tina ponders this for a second. You know what? It's not bad. But how about we up the ante? What if one of us gets way too into the idea of escaping the room and starts trying to get everyone else on board to escape? That's where the real chaos happens. Larry interrupts. Hold on. Who gets too into it? I'm not the one getting obsessive over fire drills, Tina. But before anyone can argue further, Adam stands up and begins doing a dramatic reenactment of what might happen. He starts pacing back and forth, muttering to himself about escape plans, while Tina laughs and writes down notes. Larry just stares, deeply frustrated, yet trying to come to terms with the fact that he's being out-crazied by Adam Sandler. The clock strikes 3 p.m., and the script is, believe it or not, coming together. It's a ridiculous, hilarious mess, but it's their mess, and they're all starting to see the genius in the chaos. Just as they reach a breakthrough, Tina throws her arms up in excitement and shouts, "We've got it! It's brilliant! It's madness!" But Larry isn't so sure. This doesn't feel right. It's too much. Too chaotic. Exactly, Adam says. That's the genius of it. Too much always works. Look at my career. Suddenly, the studio door opens and the producer steps in. All right, we need that script in 10 minutes. The trio exchanges a glance. The pressure is mounting. Will they get this insane idea together in time? The countdown is on. And then, just as the deadline hits, Larry stops pacing. He pauses for a moment, staring at the absurdity of the script they've created, and finally says, "You know what? It's perfect. Let's turn this disaster into a masterpiece." Tina nods. "You're finally getting it, Larry. Comedy is about embracing the chaos and making it work. Trust us, this is going to be hilarious." And just like that, with the script finished, the three of them share a knowing look like they've just completed something so absurd, so ridiculous, that it's bound to be a hit. They've gone through the fire, and now they have a masterpiece that only a collaboration of Larry David, Tina Fey, and Adam Sandler could have pulled off. As the camera zooms out, Adam can't resist one final touch. He's back on the floor, wearing the fake mustache and an inflatable fire extinguisher, ready to make the final, zany touch that only he can add.